Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers versus Detroit Lions Week 8 matchup based on analytics. Each week, I collect all of the current 2017 NFL team data in order to analyze and project potential NFL performance. And since it's a weekly collection, there will always be some fluidity in terms of team trends. However, there will always be little nuggets of truth that can become bigger nuggets of truth as the season continues. So stick around as I analyze each week's matchups based on analytics. And if you're new to the channel, all terms and definitions will be in the description. So starting with this particular matchup of the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Detroit Lions. When you look at the NFL stat basic comparison data, and basic comparison data just looks at how the offense is doing, how the defense is doing, how the special teams is doing, and all those other sort of factors. So when you look at those particular areas, the basic information, the basic data, most of the data favors the Steelers in this matchup. And two main reasons why. One, the offense is better than the Detroit Lions in some respects. And two, the Lions defense has some things that they do well, but they don't quite do everything that the Steelers defense does. So we'll get into some of those sort of things. So starting with the offense, the one thing I could start off by saying, though, the Lions do have a better turnover ratio. So they do not allow as many turnovers on offense as the Steelers do. On top of that, sack percentage, though, the Steelers have a much better ability to prevent sacks than the Lions, which is another sort of reason why the Steelers are favored in this game because of that particular fact. On top of that, offensive score percentage. The Steelers are better when it comes to putting up points on offense on every drive compared to the Lions. The Lions' offense is just kind of stalled a bit, which is just an issue that they're going to have to deal with going forward. On top of that, defensive offensive score percentage, the ability to prevent points on defense, is more so in favor of the Steelers. Turnovers, of course, is in favor of the Lions. Like the one area, like the Lions do have some favorability when it comes to turnovers. They don't turn over the football as much on offense, and they create more turnovers on defense. But they have those other issues. They don't put up as many points, and they are not as good of a defense in terms of preventing points, which is a big reason why the Steelers are favored. On top of sack percentage, the Steelers have extremely high sack percentage, and they're going up against a Lions defense that has had a lot of trouble in terms of preventing sacks over the course of the season. Interceptions, though, do favor the Lions in that respect. When it comes to special teams, punt return data favors the Lions. Kick return data favors the Lions slightly. Both these teams are not the best when it comes to kick return. Preventing kick return and punt return yardage is more so with the Lions, but field goal percentage is more so with the Steelers. Extra point percentage is also more so with the Steelers, and punting average is more so with the Lions in that respect. So I would say when it comes to yardage stuff with special teams, the Lions are definitely favored in that respect. But when it comes to putting up points on offense, extra point percentage, field goal percentage, the Steelers are better in that respect. So I would say it's kind of evenly matched on special teams because of these particular factors. But overall, I mean, the basic thing you should take away from everything that I just said is that the Steelers are better than the Lions when it comes to the majority of the data, and especially when it comes to the thing that matters most, which is the ability to put up points on offense and prevent points on defense. The Steelers do a much better job on offense and defense when it comes to that, and there are inherent issues when you look at the sack rate. Like when you look at the amount of sacks the Lions have allowed this year, and you look at the Steelers defense coming to town, that is a alarming situation. Like that is a scary situation to concede. So overall, most of the data favors the Steelers, and even though the Lions do have some areas where they do have advantages, I still think, again, it just overwhelmingly favors the Steelers in almost every single phase of offense, defense, and there even is sort of a 50-50 share on special teams, but the Steelers have it where it counts when it comes to putting up points on special teams, when it comes to field goal percentage and extra point percentage. So then when we get to some other sort of data points, so this is the Detroit Lions completion percentage data versus the Steelers, and the Steelers are favored here when it comes to first and third down situations when it comes to that particular area. Then you look at the Steelers offense versus the Lions defense when it comes to completion percentage. And I would say this is actually a little bit more evenly matched here. When you look at first and third down situations, pretty even between the two teams. The Steelers are better on second down, but I would say that this is pretty even. This is pretty even in terms of the completion percentage battle, I guess, when it comes to these two teams. Then when you look at running down, so this is the Lions rushing offense versus Steelers rushing defense, and this pretty much favors the Steelers in terms of second down and third down situations. Those key situations definitely are in favor of the Steelers here. Then you look at the Steelers rushing offense versus Lions rushing defense, and this actually is a bit more even as well when you look at the matchups here. The Steelers will have a massive advantage on first down, or second down, excuse me, in terms of their offense, but the Lions will have a much better defense, running defense on third down. So this is actually a little bit more even between these two teams when it comes to rushing. Then you look at passing situations. Lions passing offense versus Steelers passing defense. Steelers are pretty heavily favored here in terms of first and third down. Then you look at the Steelers passing offense versus Lions passing defense. This also is more so with the Lions defense in that respect, but second down is where the majority of the success comes for the Steelers. Is definitely an advantage for them, at least when it comes to second down. Then you look at sack rate. This is the Lions offense versus Steelers defense when it comes to sacks, and as you can see, Steelers heavily favored on almost every single down, whether you're talking first down situations, second down situations even, and third down situations, just heavily favors the Steelers in terms of creating sacks. Then you look at the Steelers offense versus Lions defense when it comes to preventing sacks and also the Lions getting sacks. This more so favors the Steelers here. Then you look at interception ratio of the Lions versus Steelers, and more so favors the Lions here for the most part, except for second down. Most of the picks that the Lions have thrown, most of the interceptions that Stafford has thrown have come on second down situations. And then finally, you look at the Steelers offense versus Lions defense when it comes to picks, and it more so goes with the Lions defense in that respect, because most of the picks that the Steelers have thrown have come on second down situations and third down situations. So overall, my general feelings about this game between the Steelers and the Lions, I really do see a Steelers victory here. I know there was a bye week, and the Lions will have time to recuperate and do their thing, but I just think when it comes to the Lions, they had a very good start to the season. They played some weak opponents to begin the year. I still believe their turnover, like on defense, I do like their ability to create turnovers. Like they have a very ball hockey defense that can turn the football over, get into the offense's hands. Very New Orleans Saints-y. I know I keep bringing that team up, but very Saints-y in terms of the ability, like, okay, we're not going to stop people 100%. We don't have the best run defense ever. We don't have the best pass defense ever, but we are going to turn the football over, get into our offense's hands, and have them put points on the board. And that's where the Lions are not getting it done. If this Lions offense was much better and much more efficient in terms of putting points on the board, preventing sacks, preventing turnovers, if they were better in those respects, like just a lot better in terms of those particular areas, then I think this team could be successful with the defense that they currently have. And they've had some success with it. But if you're going to go into games like this against the Steelers, who the Steelers inherently are one of the best teams in the NFL. It hasn't looked pretty, I will give you that, but they've been performing pretty well in most facets of the game when it comes to putting up points on offense and preventing points on defense. They've been doing pretty well in all those different factors. So if you're going to go up against a team like this, you can't make mistakes on offense. You have to be able to score on every single drive, and that's something the Lions have not done. So for as much as I think there are some interesting things to look at in this game, and there is some cool things the Lions could do to tip this in their favor, I just think overwhelmingly the data favors the Steelers, and I just have to go Steelers here because of just those factors. Just because the Lions are set up as a team to win in a certain fashion, and they don't quite have all the pieces to do that on offense. Like, they're not as efficient on offense as they need to be to overcome the issues that they have on defense. And as a result, I have to go Steelers here. And of course, you can find my other work at draftcover.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.